look, what a wonder. As soon as a large prawn or shrimp comes out of the oven, yes, prepared in the oven, it looks spectacular. And today we're preparing a baked large prawn. You won't believe how delicious it is. Hello, I'm Pelayo and this is Salad Dolandia, and today we're going to prepare a recipe that's finger-licking good. It can be made with large prawns, it can be made with shrimp, and with any kind of seafood like that. Plus, you can always change one or two little details to make it even more to your liking. So we can't ask for much more. Yes, it's in the oven, so everything stays very clean, your house doesn't get filled with smells. You can prepare it a few hours ahead and bake it just at the right moment. This way, you can spend time with your guests instead of working in the kitchen, even if you have company over. So, a top-notch recipe to enjoy. To prepare this marvel, we are going to use the following ingredients: 20 prawns or shrimps, 4 cloves of garlic you can use, 3 if they are big, 2 tablespoons of parsley or cilantro, half a teaspoon of powdered ginger, 2 lemons, a splash of oil and salt to taste. And now let's go with the recipe itself. First, the preparations. Look, I have the prawns here. What am I going to do? Rinse them with cool water. So that's the first thing. Wash them well on the outside. And besides, I give them an extra touch, which is to cut off their whiskers and front legs, because it's always unpleasant to find them on the plate, and sometimes they can even prick you. So if you take this precaution, your dish will be much more comfortable, more beautiful, and easier to enjoy. So the front legs, trimmed, and the whiskers too. I'll rinse it in water again to remove any stuck whiskers. First, prawn prepared. I'll repeat this process for consistent results with all of them. Once I have them washed and prepared, let's move on to the parsley. I'm telling you, you can also use cilantro without any problem, and it even turns out better. What I'm going to do now is crush it a little and chop it well. That's how easy we're going to make it quite chopped, because we're going to crush it later. The garlic, the same. We take 3 or 4 cloves. I'm telling you, I use 4 because they are small. If they were big, I would have taken 3. Come on, we chop and that's it. Now we go with the mash, which is what we're going to spread on the prawns or king prawns. On one side, we place that freshly chopped garlic inside. We are also going to add the cilantro or parsley. I'm using it fresh. If you can get it fresh, much better. But if not, dry is fine. Add half a teaspoon of powdered ginger inside as well, and salt to taste. I only add a pinch of coarse salt. I think that's enough. Here's an important detail. You have to mash this well with a bit of patience so you get a kind of paste. Then oil, lemon, mix everything. And with that, we are going to spread all over, all the product. You'll see what a good thing this is. Well, yes, we mash it really well until it becomes a paste. And then we're going to add first a drizzle of oil and then the lemon. I'm telling you that I'm going to use 2 lemons, and from the first one, I'm also going to take advantage of some of the zest. Although it doesn't give a tremendous flavor, it does give quite an aroma, so I'm interested. I grate about half of the little lemon skin, like this, directly into the mortar, and then I prick half a lemon, and in it goes all the juice. If you see any little seeds, it's time to remove them, and as you can see, I don't use a juicer, I do it directly because if some pulp falls in, it's also fine, so there's no problem. We do it directly in a moment, the 4 halves of lemon, until it becomes 2 lemons. Remember, the juice of 2 lemons. Then we check, and the small seeds that have fallen, you have to pick them up and remove them. You could crush them, but I think it's more comfortable to pay a little attention and remove them, and that's it. If you've been a little careful, you'll have 3 or 4 left inside, so it doesn't take that long either. And then we're going to stir it. We're going to stir it until everything comes together. and forms a kind of uniform liquid. So let's give it a go. This green color is starting to work its magic. Come on, a few turns here. Use about half a minute of time so that everything comes together and has this great look that you see here. This liquid that has this peculiar look is where we are going to dip our prawns, shrimps, or whatever you want. This is good with almost all seafood. Come on, let's get to it. For today's assembly, I'm going to use this round dish that I have here, so I'm going to go for it. I still had a small mustache remaining. They stick to everything. Well, as I said, I take a ham, smear it well, and put it on the tray. Next, the same. And we keep placing them all in the same position. Always the same, always looking towards the center, and always the same position. This way you will end up with a circular wheel, quite neat and pretty without any effort. And sometimes making things beautiful is super easy. Look how nice it turns out. Take advantage of the last bit left in the mortar, since your hands are already on it. You take it and place it on top to give it an extra touch of flavor. And now it's ready for the oven. You can let it rest for a few hours in the fridge and it's no problem. The important thing is that you have it all prepared like this for when you preheat your oven. That is indeed important. Very important. You have to preheat it to 180 degrees and we are going to place it in the lower middle part of your oven if you use Fahrenheit degrees. 355. I already have it in the oven, but I remind you not to be anxious. No rush. You have to have the oven always before very, very well preheated. Normally, a mark or a little light indicates that it has already reached the temperature you have set. If your oven doesn't indicate it, it's best to be patient and leave it in a bit longer. 8 or 10 minutes to be very, very sure that it has reached the indicated temperature, in this case, 180 degrees. With the oven well preheated, everything comes out much better. They will take between 15 and 20 minutes to be ready. And I, to be sure, usually keep them closer to 20 minutes if possible without a fan, although that is quite optional. Come outside, the time has already passed here, and look at how good they look with a little sauce. When you dip the bread, it's a real addiction. If you want to decorate a little, you can do the lemon trick, but instead of cutting it in half, look, we take a small knife like this one and we're going to cut like this. Then in the opposite direction, so that it forms a kind of triangle. Do you see like this? If you keep joining triangle after triangle all around the side of the lemon, in the end you will have it cut in a decorative way without too much difficulty. So, if you're not very handy like me, it's the best. And also, you can play a little with the lemon monster. Oh, I'm going to bite you. Come on, you're going to love it. Look how good it looks. To decorate a circular plate like the one I have here. So let's get to it. We take the little plate just out of the oven, place this lemon that has turned out so decorative and a super tasty and also showy dish. And the best part of all, without filling it with aromas. Crazy from having been with the pan and the prawns and the king prawn and all the mess right with people at home. No, in the oven, everything clean, everything easy and wonderful dish. You have to try it. And we already have the recipe finished. I hope you liked it as much as I did. Well, if you liked it half as much, you'll be delighted. It's a recipe that always turns out well and you can make it to your liking. You can adjust the baking time a bit if you like it softer or drier. Can you change some detail in the maja, which is the magic of all this? That flavor that is going to permeate in the prawns or king prawns, they will always be luxurious. Of course, the battle of every year, the usual one. Do you want more of prawn or king prawn? There are people for all tastes, and I tell you that I am both, so I have no problems. I hope you liked the video and that you watch this other one, which you can see also looks wonderful. Click here and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Enable the bell and notifications. And every Thursday and Sunday they notify you that we have a new recipe for you.